Let me ask you a question. Is there a job that exists right now on planet Earth that you wouldn't do for $1 million a year? Be you? So true. My job is way too hard for that. For $1 million a year, you would die in my job. My job is, Twitch streamer is on the front lines. Twitch streamer is elite of the elite, most difficult jobs. Toughest job. Battlefield soldier. Really? Someone said I'll give you $1 million, but you have to go fight on the front lines of a battlefield. You wouldn't do it? I think that's probably fair. You very likely would die. It's not more than 50% chance that you die. You know what I'm saying? Most soldiers don't die in combat. Probably don't die. But $1 million may not be enough to do it. I would not be a Walmart cashier for $1 million. That seems crazy to me. Someone offers you $1 million to be a Walmart cashier, you don't do it. You must already be rich, right? That's the only reason. If your opportunity cost is so high, then I guess I don't want to be one of those guys who have to go into sewers and break up the fat globules. I didn't know that was a job. Gross. Is that real? You have to go down to the sewers and just break up the, ew. Yeah, I don't think I would do that. That feels like that'd be really, really, really draining to your mental. Okay, wait. What if it's $10 million? Would you do the sewer job? $10 million. It's 1 year. You have to do it for a year. And it has to be a real job. $10 million. I mean, that's a good chunk of change. I feel like I'd do the sewer job for 10 mil. A year, I mean, that's a funny story to tell. I feel like the only job I wouldn't do for 10 mil is a job that has an extremely high mortality rate, or the average Amazon employee, because I will get too injured. I wouldn't work Amazon warehouse or anything that would kill me, dude. I don't want my back to break. US president? Why would you not be president for a year for $10 million? I guess people would fucking hate you. It drains you. Oh, you know a lot about that? Soaring sailor, it drains you. Oh yeah, you've been through it. And then just like you can't, you just stress. I mean, everyone would know why you're doing it. It would be something comes down from the heavens and says, hey, this guy's gonna be president for a year to get $10 million. You gotta deal with it. And everyone would just know, okay? It's fine. You'd try your best. Maybe you'd even do a good job. Maybe your simple folk wisdom would turn the country in the right direction. Maybe you would have common sense solutions to incredible problems. Or maybe you would start nuclear war. I can't even talk to girls. How would I talk to the nation? The first president who's like deeply cripplingly shy during their State of the Union, like looking at your feet. My fellow Americans. So what's up? I'm your new president. Okay, well, it's been fun. Or maybe half the country would hate you. That's normal. If you're a president, you get half. Half that like you, half that hate you. That's good. That's high approval. If you are a recent president with 50% approval, you're crushing. You're dominating. Both Biden and Trump were below 50, which is really incredible. That we have two politically opposite presidents who the country hates both. In Peru, our president has 8% approval. Yeah, I think you guys, I think the president one's an easy one. Especially, I mean, there's so many people in actual history who have done exactly this, which is be president for a year or two and make millions. And some have died. Well, that's the risk you take. The president's press secretary must suck ass as far as jobs. It has a high turnover rate, but for $10 million, what you're not understanding is that, like, even if you flub it a little bit, it's a year. It's 1 year of your life. And then you have $10 million. Executioner would be rough. Oh, that's interesting. Everyone's suggestions so far have been like dangerous ones, but ones that would morally weigh on you are interesting. Executioner. So you kill people all year. You see their last breath, their final words. I mean, ostensibly, you could maybe assume that most of them are very bad people. I just wouldn't look up the statistics on like the number of cases that eventually get overturned after the person's already dead. Because eventually, statistically, you're going to kill someone who's innocent, completely innocent. There are not that many deaths a year. I thought the death row, people on death row was like backed up. I thought they have a ton. They just, I'm not saying they're doing it every day. I'm not saying it's like 4 a day, but I think they do a lot. Is it 10 mil up front? Can you take the job and just be so bad at it that you get fired but still get the money? Obviously not. I hate when people try to break hypotheticals, bro. So stupid. No, obviously it's not. Or you could just quit the day. You could just quit. Oh, $10 million and I quit. Oh, I'm a genius. Your stupid question means nothing to me. I just went $10 million. No one's actually offering, little bro. We're fucking hypothesizing. What about a job where you're expected to help people mentally or emotionally, but your motivation is monetary, like therapist or pastor? You would not be the first therapist or pastor who was money motivated, I'll tell you that. You have a long history of brethren, okay? I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. Would you be the line cook at a Michelin star restaurant? I haven't seen The Bear. Is it just really hard? That sounds fine to me. That sounds fun. I mean, I'm sure it's a hard, stressful job, but $10 million? They don't do it for that. You know what I'm saying? They do it now. What about surgeon? I guess I wouldn't be a surgeon for $10 million a year. Although I have this sneaking suspicion that I could learn surgery really fast. I have this self-confidence that tells me that I could pick it up. I could pick it up on the job like pretty quick. I legitimately think if you gave me like a crash course 2 weeks, I watch a lot of House. I feel like I would get it. You know, you learn the body, you cut here, you snip there. You know, it can't be that hard. I feel like I could do it for 10 mil. Or you know what I'll do? I'll be a surgeon, but every time I go on the operating table, I'll look around and say, this is not clean. Has this been inspected? Is this hermetically sealed? Is this clean enough? And then I'll leave. I'll like demand, and then they'll be like, oh God, he's such a perfectionist. He must be the best surgeon of all time. And I'll just keep stalling, bro. Well, delay this 2 weeks from the ground up. And then on the day of the surgery, when I'll get in there and it's finally perfectly clean, I'll get in the room and then, oh no, I'm sick. I have to recuse myself. I don't want to infect the patient, and then I'll leave. And that one, then, you know, it's like no one can blame me. Yeah, I do that for a year. Maybe not a full year. Maybe I do one surgery and I botch it. Okay, right at the end. Fine. One person gets a botched surgery. I'll pay for their fix. I have $10 million. Imagine it bankrupts me. Medical malpractice lawsuit loses me $12 million at the end of the year. I'm $2 million in debt and I fucking did nothing for a year. Would you be a pilot for 10 mil? You guys are picking jobs that like, assume I know how to fly. You know what I'm saying? Obviously I'm not gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna take off a 747 that you gave me $10 million because I'll die. I'll guarantee die and fucking, that's stupid. Assuming I know how to fly, of course. It's literally automated. I swear to God, it's not literally automated. You know what I'm saying? If they put me in a thing right now, I could not get you to where you need to go. I couldn't do that. As automated as it is, I couldn't do it. And therefore, I would not be a good pilot. And therefore, if anything were to go wrong, we would all die. Do you understand that? Do you understand the risk that I'd be taking? Skill issue? That's what I'm saying. What do you think I'm saying? Yes, skill issue. I can't fly. Well, you're agreeing with me. Most plane crashes don't involve dying. How are you guys arguing to me that you would fly a plane when you don't know how to fly, full of passengers and families? You were gonna fly a 747 plane. We don't know how to fly. You get paid either way. You get paid either way. But you have to do it for a year, by the way. And they can't fire you. So that means, hypothetically, you get in your first plane, you go, I don't know how to fly this thing. It takes off, it crashes, you don't die, because most plane crashes don't end in death. You get out, and then next day, they're like, all right, you gotta flight again. So you gotta do this every day, the whole year. I will say, I would learn pretty fast. I honestly think by even a month in, I'm good. I'm like caught up. After that first scary ass crash, I'm bringing the manual home and I'm perusing that bitch. Do you think you'd be a paramedic for a year? Even assuming you have the skill, would you want to witness accidents and stuff? For $10 million, yeah, I think I could do it. I mean, I got a friend who's a paramedic. And I used to play video games with this guy all the time. He still seems the same. He's fine. He's funny. He tells me he has to like check out a bit mentally, to be honest, when he does it. He does tell me that. He is a paramedic, or at least was. I actually think he left. After a year though. The hardest part of that paramedic job, from what I could tell, is that he had to work like 12-hour shifts. It wasn't like, 8 hours a day. It was 4 12s. So he'd do four days a week, but 12-hour shifts. And sometimes they were longer. What about a scientist, but you only get paid after you get a tier 1 publication? Those fucking journals are all for pay anyway. I would just go to one of them and be like, hey, I'll give you $4 million. And then I get 6, and then I'm done. The tier 1s would not let you in. Oh, I'm sure, you guys. Nothing can be bought in your hypothetical world. I'm sure. There's no way I could reproduce someone else's study, slightly change it a little bit, and then pay $4 million and get, that's never happened. All of these things are paragons of science, and no business has ever used money to leverage their way into these.